Mando and the dying Hyperlane. The alert spreads quietly at first, buried in trade reports and shipping delays. A major hyperlane connecting 3 outer rim sectors has begun to destabilize. Ships dropping out of hyperspace at random intervals with navigation systems scrambled and hulls scorched by spatial shear. Mando only notices because a routine jump recalculates twice before confirming coordinates. Grogu feels it before the systems do, a subtle distortion in the force like a current pulling sideways instead of forward. The hyperlane has existed for centuries, carved through gravitational wells and microsingularities with precise alignment. It should be stable, predictable, safe. It isn't. Mid-jump, the ship shudders violently as hyperspace ripples around them like torn fabric. Warning lights flare, and the Navi-computer fights to compensate for shifting mass shadows that shouldn't be there. Mando drops them out of hyperspace manually. Stars snap back into place, but not the ones they expected. They're light years off course, drifting near a debris field that wasn't on any chart. Grogu steadies himself, sensing something unnatural about the distortion. This isn't a natural collapse of gravitational anchors. It feels guided, intentional. Other ships float nearby, some damaged, some silent. A freighter sends out a weak distress ping, its hyperdrive core overheated from compensating against unstable currents. Mando docks briefly to gather information. The freighter captain insists the hyperlane shifted mid-transit, as if the exit vector moved while they were still inside it. Hyperlanes don't move, unless someone moves them. Back aboard, Mando scans for anomalies and detects a repeating energy signature pulsing along the corridor's projected path. It's subtle, masked as background radiation, but consistent. Grogu focuses on it and feels a mechanical rhythm behind the distortion, like a heartbeat imposed onto space-time. They follow the pulse toward a sparse region between star systems where navigation buoys should mark stable entry points. Instead, they find one buoy replaced, not destroyed, reprogrammed. The device is broadcasting altered gravitational data into hyperspace, slowly bending the corridor's shape. Ships entering the lane are being nudged off their intended vectors, destabilizing the entire route. Mando studies the modifications. This isn't random sabotage. It's precise enough to avoid total collapse, but disruptive enough to cause economic strain. Someone is squeezing the galaxy's arteries. A small stealth vessel decloaks nearby, its hull bristling with signal amplifiers. It opens fire immediately, trying to force Mando away from the buoy. Blaster bolts streak across open space, scattering against shields. Mando maneuvers tightly, keeping distance while targeting the amplifiers instead of the cockpit. Grogu senses the pilot's intent not to kill, but to protect the operation at all costs. If the hyperlane collapses entirely, trade between multiple systems would stall, prices would spike. Certain factions would profit enormously from rerouted traffic. Engineered scarcity. Mando disables one amplifier with a precise shot. The gravitational distortion flickers. The stealth ship accelerates aggressively, attempting to ram. Grogu reaches out, not to crush the ship, but to disturb its guidance for a single breath. The vessel veers just enough to miss, scraping past in a shower of sparks. Mando locks onto its engines and fires. The ship spirals, disabled but intact. He doesn't pursue. Instead, he exits the cockpit in a pressure suit and attaches a manual override to the corrupted buoy. The altered data streams fight his input, automated countermeasures trying to preserve the false calculations. Grogu concentrates from inside the ship, sensing the artificial rhythm and gently unraveling it. The imposed heartbeat in the force falters. Mando forces the buoy to reset to its original navigational template. For a moment, nothing happens. Then hyperspace itself seems to settle. The distortion fades. The corridor realigns along its historic vector, gravitational anchors locking back into predictable harmony. Across nearby sectors, ships complete their jumps without turbulence for the first time in days. Back aboard, Mando watches as navigation updates confirm the lane stabilization. Grogu gazes out at the restored buoy, sensing no lingering manipulation. They'll try again, Mando says quietly. Grogu nods. Because the hyperlane wasn't dying, it was being strangled. And somewhere in the vast network of trade and power, someone just lost control of the galaxy's pulse.